Hi, I'm Paul Vicunas and welcome to Duel Game Calls. You know, moose hunting might be the greatest hunt and the biggest adventure that you ever take. Think about it. It's not just the destination, but the moose is the largest species of deer in North America. They're 1,000 pounds and they readily come to a call. Think about where they are. They're in Alaska to Newfoundland and all places in between, and to produce anatomically correct sounds, you need a very special call. You might be surprised that for an animal that's so big, how small and subtle their calls might be. And that's why the engineers at Duel Game Calls produce the 2-in-1 game call. In its construction, there's 6 major components. There's the horn, which emulates the chest cavity. There's a control tube, which imitates the nasal cavity. The patented dual chamber. This flexible tube, the stretch tone tube, gives emotion and imparts some inflection in your calling. The mouthpiece can also be used as a voice call, but this also channels the call, the sound through the call. And then the reed body, oftentimes called the soundboard, actually produces the call. All put together, this is the easiest moose call in the market to blow. In fact, it's so easy, you could buy this moose call on your way to your moose hunt and produce anatomically correct vocalizations. Let's run through the calls together. There are 4 basic calls that you need to master to be successful when you go moose hunting. There's the bull grunt, there's the contact call or the broadcast call, which is a cow-produced sound, there's the whine, and there's also the bawl. The moose call operates generally off of the reed up here. The reed actually has 3 different positions positioned by this O-ring. In the middle position, this is the most common, and this is the base position for the O-ring for all calling to begin. So the first call that we're going to demonstrate is the contact call or the broadcast call of the cow. This is a cow that's saying, I'm in estrus, I'm here, I'm ready, where are you? And it's a long call, a series of 3 with a cadence of about 9 seconds. Then the second call is about 7 seconds, and the third call is about 6 seconds, tailing off into a lower tone. This is a mid-range call. Very simply, just take the call, hold it like this, and keep the stretch tone tube collapsed. Okay? Put the call in your mouth and just blow with the reed, starting high and tapering off to low. As you use the call, just use your open hand on the control tube. Again, this simulates the nasal cavity. And then as you call, you just open up your hand to finish up the call. It's a series of 3 like this. Just that simple. The bawl call is the same call, just a little bit shorter, a little bit more emotion. Just like that, real simple. Now, the bull grunt, which is the one that's probably the most often imitated, that's a deeper tone. And we actually use the horn to make your chest sound like you actually are a 6 to 1,000 pound animal. To use the bull call, to produce it, you just take the O-ring and you lower it down to the lowest position, which allows the reed to flex a little bit more. And it holds it in position right there. And for the bull call, we like to use the horn itself to actually give you a little bit more inflection, a little bit more deep tone. So again, it's the same thing. It's about a 3-second call. If you want to sound like a deeper bull, or if the bull is working a little bit closer, by stretching the flex tone tube, you can soften the call. I like to stretch it out and then hold it in position like this. The nice thing about having a stretch tone tube and being a reed body call is that if the bull is close, you can make your calls very subtle. But like we are today, just behind us here, we're looking across the pond, you can really blast out the sound and challenge a bull that might be a couple 100 yards away by increasing the volume. You do that this way. Real simple. There's one call that's called the whine. It's an estrus whine. Create this situation in your mind. It might help you develop this call in your mind. Is that this is a call where if you were jogging, you were trying to carry a tune when you're jogging, you can't really produce a nice smooth sounding call. Okay? When you're jogging, you're bouncing up and down, your lungs are expanding, contracting, so you're imparting a lot of energy. In this scenario with the whine, this is an estrus cow that's actually moving around. She's excited. Very oftentimes she's being pushed by a younger bull that she does not want to stand for, but there may be a bigger bull that she's very excited about. And this sounds very melodic, much like a cat meowing. So it's kind of a meow, meow, meow sound. To produce that call, you take the O-ring and you can produce it in the middle position. I like to produce it in the highest position because it is a higher pitch sound. And then just taking the same control tube That's an estrus whine. If you take a little bit of time and master those calls in about a 15-minute exercise, you too can be successful in your next moose hunt using the Duel Game Calls 2-in-1 moose call. In creating realism in your calling sequences, there's actually two side benefits that we can use the 2-in-1 moose call for that actually doesn't require any calling at all. It's actually imitating the sound of a bull thrashing. Oftentimes when a bull comes in, he gets frustrated. He wants to intimidate the other bull that's there when you've actually created a scenario that challenges him. So the horn, being a hollow piece of plastic, you can actually use that to sound like his antlers raking brush. So just simply take the call, choke your hand right here behind the junction box, pull the string in, and then you can just rake some brush like this, and that would make it sound like a bull is actually, raking his antlers on some brush. Number two, oftentimes, if you're calling on or near water, you can remove the reed body, oftentimes called the soundboard, and if you're standing in water, cows and bulls, oftentimes, mostly cows, will actually urinate while they're calling, and a very effective technique that might be a little closing or finishing technique is actually fill the horn with water by cupping your hand right here, and then just by simply opening and closing your hand, let the water release and drip into the pond or lake that you're standing in. That creates another sense of urgency combined with the calling. Those little fine details might be the difference when you use a 2-in-1 moose call to get that bull to step out of the timber and come close to you. That sound, strange as it may be, is actually an estrus cow whine. In your mind, this little call right here, which is our estrus cow call, produces the sound of a cow that's highly excited, is not willing to stand for a younger bull, or is being pushed by a big bull, and is producing that sound that it's happening right now. And if you're a big bull listening to the sound, you want to get in there before that other bull claims your cow. This little call right here, very easy to produce. It produces the sound of a mature cow, high pitch estrus whine, and oftentimes you can use this little call right here to produce a broadcast call of a younger cow. It sounds like this. Those two calls are oftentimes just that little bit of finishing sound that you need to get that bull to come out and get that closing shot. In combination with the 2-in-1 moose horn, which produces 4 different sounds, and this estrus whine tube right here, introduced by Duel Game Calls, this is the deadly combination for your next moose hunt. Good luck.